Hello guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a PK deck profile for the 2020-2021 format. Let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile for you guys. Starting off with the deck profile, we have 3 Venom Knight Torn Scales. So essentially what this card does is, when you're able to send one card from your hand to the graveyard to dump a PK monster from your deck to the graveyard. And then when a PK monster is banished from your graveyard, you're able to special summon it from the graveyard, but it's banished when it leaves the field. Then we have 3 Venom Knight Boots. This card is really good. You can special summon it from the hand if you control a Venom Knight monster on the field. And then when it's in the graveyard, you're able to banish from the graveyard to search a Venom Knight spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Then I run 3 Cloak. This one is still really good. It's not as good as Boots. You're able to banish from the graveyard to search a Venom Knight card from your deck to your hand. Then I run 2 Gloves. I think Gloves is the worst one out of the bundle, but I feel like you should still run it at 2. I do really think this card is really good. You're able to banish it from the graveyard in order to send any Venom Knight monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it's really, really good. And then I run 1 Greaves. I think this card is really good. You're able to banish it from the graveyard to special summon a Venom Knight monster from your hand. So it just kind of helps unclog hands. Then for extenders, I run 2 Psychic Wielders. I think this card is really, really good. Basically, if you control level 3 monster, you're able to special summon it from your hand to the field. Just helps with rank 3 plays and link plays. More extenders, I run 1 Tatsunoko, 1 Jackalope. These are the only 2 dangers that I run. I think they're a really good engine, and I truly believe that every PK deck should run them. 2 Kagamusha Knight. This card is really good. It's really good in conjunction with summoning effects. So, for example, when you normal summon Tour Guide, they want to use an effect Veiler. You're able to chain Kagamusha Knight on the normal summon of Tour Guide. So it chain blocks the effect Veiler. So you're able to resolve your Tour Guide. So it's really good to have. I wouldn't run it at 3. I do think 3 is a little bit cloggy, but I do think 2 is the perfect number. And then I run 2 Tour Guides. I don't run 3 Tour Guides. I do think 3 is really cloggy. But this card is just nuts. It just helps the deck so much. For the Tour Guide targets, I run 2 Sir, 2 Graf, and 1 Sangan. This is the perfect ratio. I truly do believe that the Burning Abyss engine in this deck is absolutely nuts. There are times I want to run Farfa over the Sangan. But I do like the fact that Sangan does give me a search. I'm able to search basically any PK monster from my deck at a convenience. So it's really good. And then I run 2 Ash Blossom. These are the only hand traps I run in the deck. I do not run any more hand traps. I don't like Nibiru in the main deck. I know it's a good card, but I lose way more times drawing it than winning. And I think Ash at 2 is a great number. I do side the 3rd, but I do think 2 is perfect in the main deck. And then last of the monsters, I run just the Red Ice package. Dragoon is just too good not to run this format. So even though these are bricky, you got to run them. All right, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, I run 3 Triple Tactics Talent. I truly believe that this card is amazing, and it should be ran in every single meta deck. On my turn, I get Ashed, I get Drolled, I get Nibiru'd, I get Veilered, and this just kind of helps unclog hands. You're able to snatch steal your opponent's monster, you're able to look at their hand and rip a card, or you're able to draw 2 cards. I run 2 Allure of Darkness, just helps go through the deck. You don't want to banish all your PK monsters because you need them for extenders, so I think 2 is a good number. I run 2 Cosmic Cyclones. I really don't like Mystic Mine. It's a very bothersome card in this deck. So I do truly believe that it is a good card. And I don't like running it at 3 just because back row decks are not that heavy right now. But I do truly believe that you should run some kind of back row removal. And then I run the one-ofs. I run one Foolish Burial, one Emergency Teleport, one Monster Reborn, one Red Eyes Fusion, and one Reinforcement of the Army. These are self-explanatory. Rhoda searches the entire deck. Red Eyes Fusion makes Dragoon. Monster Reborn summons any card from either player's graveyard. E-Tele gets out your Psychic Wielders, and Foolish is basically a one card combo. That's it for the spells. For the traps, I run 3 Impermanents. I truly do believe that Impermanence should be run in every meta deck this format. This card is too good not to run at 3. You do run Shade Brigadine in this deck, but I truly do believe you're able to search out Shade Brigadine fast enough to the point where you shouldn't need not to run Impermanence in your deck. I run 3 Fog Blades. I think Fog Blades are fantastic. It's such a good card. It's basically a Fiendish Chain, negates your opponent's monster effect, and then when it's in the graveyard, you're able to banish it to special summon any Phantom Knight monster from your banish pile to the field. And then lastly, for the last 2 traps, I run 1 Shade Brigadine and 1 Wings. These are good at 1. This card is really good, and everyone knows Shade Brigadine. It's essentially a extender, a really good card extender. So that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I run 1 Axis Code Talker because it's Axis Code Talker. This card is ridiculous. 1 Appaloosa, negates, just really helps with like stopping your opponent if you're forced to go first. I think this deck should go first, but if you're forced to go second, you can set up something good for the next turn. 1 Bardiche. This card is absolutely ridiculous. I think unbanning this card was a mistake, but we are going to abuse it. Essentially, you can dump any card from your deck to the graveyard to set a Phantom Knight spell or trap card from your deck onto the field. I run 2 Cherubi. This card is really good as well. You're able to dump any card from your deck to the graveyard and have a monster gain similar attack points to the attack of the monster you sent to the graveyard. And then when it's on the field, you can send another card on the field so it doesn't die. And last thing I run is 1 Predaplant Verde Anaconda, and that's just to bring out Dragoon. And then for the Xyz, I run 1 Levy Air, 2 Break Sword. There are times I run this at 3. This card is ridiculous. Essentially, when you summon it, you're able to pop a card on the field and a card your opponent controls. If you pop itself, sent to your graveyard, you can target 2 Phantom Knight monsters in your graveyard, special summon them to the field, and they become level 4s. 1 Dante. This card has actually helped me win a couple games. It's really good. Very, very versatile card. And then I run 1 Raiders Knight. You're able to make this through Break Sword. So I do run it, and that helps you go into Arc Rebellion. This card is ridiculous. It's essentially a 1 card board negate, and it negates all the monster effects on the field and then gains their attack. And then if you don't want to go into the Raider Knight Arc Rebellion play, you can go into Nightmare. And Nightmare is essentially, you can negate up to 2 special summons. By detaching 1 material, you can negate a special summon. And then lastly, 1 Dragoon. I really hate running the Dragoon engine in this deck, but Dragoon is so good that I feel like every deck should run it. And yeah, so that's the deck profile.